Hey Zen fam! So here we go, another video. What am I talking about today? Well, something I actually wanted to talk about yesterday, but couldn't get hold of the telly, couldn't turn on the PlayStation. Not only that, I was kind of wanting to watch the Rage 2 event, so I wanted to know what was going on with that. So, you know, only so many hours in the day. Anyway, so yesterday, PlayStation puts out this video. What was it called? Yeah. Get free PS4 games as a PS Plus member. I mean, yeah, okay, they do little how-to videos every once in a while. But you would like to think that most people would be smart enough to be able to figure it out without a guide. You know? I mean, come on. But what I don't think Sony foresaw, as you'll see by some of the screenshots I'll be putting up, is how the video is taken. Currently, the video, now it is 10 o'clock on Tuesday night, the 14th, okay? This video was put out yesterday. There was a video the previous day from Champ Chong. If you know him, he's an Australian YouTuber. And he made a video similar to what I'm doing right now. And with the combination of that video and the Champ Chong video, made me want to say something. So, I'm saying something. Right, so this video has 4.5k upvotes. Alright. It has been viewed 241,000 times, but it has a downvote ratio 2/3 higher at 6.8k. And people have spoken on this video, and they've said things such as, hang on, let me scroll to the comments. 6 games before PS4, PS3 and Vita. Now only 2 games. At the point now I'm reading this, 2.2k upvotes. 3 games that you pay for with a monthly fee. This is something we're getting to in the discussion. 2.1k upvotes. No downvotes, by the way, on either of these comments. Or the next two that I'm going to read you. That you'll be seeing behind me as well, obviously. Right? Multiplayer content should be free. All in caps, exclamation mark. At least for all titles. 2+ years, for example. 7.1k. I mean 1.7k, sorry. Right? Fix your monthly games. It's all trash. That's a little harsh. You know? 1.7k. No downvotes in any of these. These comments are indicative of what we have seen for years now with PlayStation, and I'm sure a lot of other gaming YouTubers have said this kind of stuff. Now, let me lay something out for you. Anybody that's new to the channel, okay? As any of the other long-term Zen fan will tell you, I am a PlayStation guy. Now, yes, I give complete equity to all forms of gaming. I love gaming. It's all good. I embrace it all. I just don't have enough money to own all the systems. But if I did, I would, because I love gaming. But my favourite is PlayStation. Has been since the original PlayStation. I had a Model 1 SKU 1 PlayStation way back in the beginning. Okay? I've been OG since the beginning. Alright? I love PlayStation. I really do. I mean, it's one of the reasons I started this channel. That, and I'm an opinionated bugger. You know? And I like talking about gaming. So anyway, I am PlayStation hardcore. I chuffing love what PlayStation do. But when you love something deeply, you see all its flaws magnified. That's just how it is. Okay? So, with this in mind, you know, when I look at PlayStation Plus, I see a service that is capable of so much more than what it has and what it is currently doing. So, to those of you uninitiated, right, PlayStation Plus was a service that sprung up roughly halfway through the PlayStation 3's operational lifespan before PS4. Okay? Now, given it had a 7-year lifespan, give or take, that's a fair wee time for the service to have existed. And it wasn't as widely adopted as it is now. The reason it is as widely adopted now will become apparent as I talk about it. Now, at the time on PlayStation 3, you would get 2 Vita games and 2 PlayStation 3 games. A nice little thing if you are into, getting lots of games, for a slightly more than modest throw of cash a year. At the time, I believe it was about 40 quid. Now it's 50 quid. And online play was free. You could play online for nothing. That was one of the things that the PlayStation 3 had over the Xbox 360. It didn't cost you money to play with your friends. But, it is fair to say that the PlayStation Network itself was not the best service. I mean, it was buggy and it was slow, and the network did have connection issues. And people are always going to say, but it costs nothing to play on PC for online. But the thing is, there are other factors to consider with online PC play. A lot of the servers that are about, to my knowledge, and believe me, if you know better, tell me in the comment section below. Okay? I'm always up to be educated because I'm not a PC guy. So a lot of the stuff I might know may not be what it currently is. It may have been the case at one point, but if you know better, please inform me. I'm ready to learn. Right? Or we're set up by enthusiasts, or were set up by the companies that own the games, but didn't have that much in the way of maintenance. And there's always been an issue on PC, with online cheating. It's rife on PC because there's less curation and there's less sort of enforcement of what can and cannot go onto online play. I mean, people make mods of games and stick them up. I mean, look at Grand Theft Auto 5. Probably the most famous example. I mean, the mod scene for that game on PC is through the roof. I mean, they just, those guys on Grand Theft Auto, they go mental, and some incredible stuff has come out of it. But you would never get that on PlayStation. Not because the PlayStation 4 can't handle it. I'm sure it could, or at least a wide variety of the mods that happen to Grand Theft Auto 5, it could probably handle. Except for something like the speed boosts and stuff like that, and the crazy, some of the really crazy stuff. But, a lot of it I'm sure the PlayStation could manage quite happily. And the Xbox, let's not forget the Xbox. But, so the PlayStation comes along and says, right, and Xbox go, come on, give us money so that we can give you this service, and we'll continually be looking at it and trying to make it better and trying to keep cheaters out and so on and so forth. And as an idea to sweeten the deal, during PlayStation 3, they said, right, we're going to give you 2 games for PlayStation 3 and 2 games for PlayStation Vita. Some people liked this idea and they went for it, but not everybody did. A lot of people were like, yeah, I don't care. I'm not doing it. I've got my online play with my friends. It might be a bit janky, but it's free. That'll do for me. A very Scottish way of looking at online gaming. Anyway, so a lot of people were fine with that for the longest time, and that's all grand. Then came the 8th generation. Both Microsoft and Sony said, you're going to have to pay for online play. And for a good long while, a lot of PlayStation fans were like, hey, hang on a minute, this used to cost me nothing. And then PlayStation, said, aye, but you're going to get 2 PlayStation 4 games, you're going to get 2 PS3 games, and you're going to get 2 Vita games. And later on, there was occasionally, just here and there, the odd VR game as well sprinkled in. So they did try for a while, and the only problem is you can't please everybody all the time. And there were a lot of months that have gone by, especially since PlayStation 4, so 2013 to 2019, there's a lot of months gone by where a good amount of the games have been considered to be subpar. I mean, in this video that PlayStation put out yesterday, they showed last month's games. Not this month's games, because this month's games are an indie title and a game that is little more than a mobile game. And as we all know, to a lot of players on consoles and especially on PC, mobile games are considered lower or looked down upon. I personally think that's a little unfair. They're different, that's all it is. It's just a different way of play. It may not be the way of play you like. It's not really for me. But for a lot of people out there, that's what they like to do. And a lot of guys and girls who play hardcore games also like the mobile games. They are just as valid in their own wee way. So, you've got your Edith Finch and you got your Overcooked, and people are like, hey, but most people went, Rrr! And there seems to be pretty much almost every month a large amount of roar. And there's not a lot PlayStation can do about this, because now they've taken away the PlayStation 3 games and the PlayStation Vita games, because the service for those systems is slowly but surely going away. They are no longer making Vitas and PS3s of any description, slim or otherwise. The network for these systems is probably going to go away fairly soon. So the only thing they'll have left is their retroness. I reckon the PS3 will probably keep its online capabilities for at least another 2 or 3 years. But because you can still technically go online with an American PS2 that you have the little modem thingy for. You can still technically do that. But I think little by little, over the years, PlayStation 3 will become a true retro system that you can't do online play with. And I think what PlayStation needs to do to settle this once and for all is, once you've gotten a game on PlayStation Plus, it is yours. Completely yours. Nothing can ever happen to it. I think they need to make it that it's not so much the case that you have to keep PlayStation Plus active to keep the game in your library. I think that once you've got the game, you should have the game. It's yours forever, regardless. Digital or otherwise, it's like if you've got it on your system or you've got the license for it to then eventually download it at a later point because your hard drive is full, I think you should just keep the game. If Sony were to make that tiny little change, that would change the whole ball game. It's not like, you have to keep PlayStation Plus. If you've bought a year of PlayStation Plus that over here on my side of the Atlantic costs you 50 quid, then, and it's even more expensive in places like South Africa, and I'd hate to think what it costs in Australia. Oh God, do those guys get ripped off. Then yeah, I think you should be able to keep the games. Now, if you're just doing like a 1 month, a 2 month, a 3 month, or a 6 month, then perhaps not. But if you're paying for a year, then I think that Sony should say, as a nice little thing, look, we understand you're only getting the 2 games right now. You get to keep them. Even if after your 12-month subscription has elapsed and you do not re-up, the games are still yours. Even if that was just for the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita games. You know? So that you've got these legacy systems that could no longer go online in a 2 or 3 years. You still have those games. I think that would be a nice gesture. And I think it would also prove to have a lot of goodwill going forth to PlayStation 5. And I think it would also be nice that, like, if PlayStation 5 does do the backwards compatibility like so many people have been suggesting it will do, and as yet we don't know. I mean, yes, it's probably going to back compat to PS4 because PS4 is practically a PC, and this is going to be just even more power with a similar architecture. I mean, they got the same guy working on it. Mark Cerny has worked on PS4 architecture and is working on the PS5 architecture. So chances are PS4 games will be able to be played on PS5. Because Sony isn't going to want to drop that user base. They want to keep those customers coming back because then they'll have games that straight away they can play on the new system and they'll probably get up-res and look even. Which is a lovely idea. So if they could back compat to PS3 and you have all these PS3 games on Plus, they could then bring up to your PlayStation 5. Imagine the goodwill of that. And you've bought the games, they're yours, you know, whether or not you've continued your Plus. But I think if you've continued your Plus, that most certainly should happen. You know, because PlayStation have always pushed this idea that the games are free. They're not free. They're heavily discounted, but they are not free by any means. You have given money in a yearly or half-yearly or quarter-yearly or monthly subscription basis. You have paid money for a service. Now, yes, in that service, you do get the games, and you do get online play, and the one thing that almost everybody always tends to miss out is the online storage, which is really useful. Really useful. Okay? It allows you to be able to like take your stuff and pass it down if you decide to upgrade your system, you know? Because, you know, okay, you can get that link cable that will stretch the data between 2 PS4s. Like if you get a PS4 and then you go and get a Pro and you want to take all your stuff and put it in. But you know what? I'm willing to bet that most people who get a Pro have sold their original PS4 to get the Pro. Okay? There's very few people that are sitting out there with 2 systems in their house. Okay? That's a small contingent of customers. A really small contingent. So, I think it would be nice for Sony to go, look, you've bought the games, you get to keep the games. No worry about re-upping and all the rest of it. If you paid a year subscription, those games are yours forever, regardless. And I think that would go a fair way to solving this whole, well, the games are rubbish, and you know, and I don't get to keep them anyway if I stop subscribing. If I stop subscribing, I lose my online play. Yeah, that is definitely an issue. So I think to sweeten the deal, let people keep the games. Obviously, you know, it'd be nice if there was maybe a separate subscription model just for online play. But then that could get complicated, you know. I mean, there is an issue that people could say, well, you know, I wanted online play and games, and I only, you know, my mum or my girlfriend or my wife or my husband or, you know, or my kid only got me the online play subscription and now I can't access my games. You know? It's like, I've got a year of this and I don't want to buy another year of the normal subscription because then I've got this year gap. Either that or I'm unsigned from that one and then that's money down the drain. So I think it would be nice if Sony were just to go, look, those games, those are your games, you bought those, that's that. But it does also have to be the case that the games that are given out by Sony, a lot of the months have not been good. They really, really need to improve. Now, last month was pretty good. I mean, Conan Exiles, yeah. That's grand. And, like, I forget what the other one was at the top of my head. The Surge. Yeah, The Surge. By all terms, a really decent game. Now, it could have done a lot better than it did, but by all accounts, it was a decent title. But anyway, I need to know what you think, because this is meant to be a discussion, So, obviously, get that typing done, on your phone, on your tablet, if you're watching on a PC. Who watches on a PC anymore? I don't know. I mean, because a lot of us are watching on smart TVs and like on consoles and stuff where you can't leave comments. Speaking of the platform, by the way, this is important, guys. Alright? A lot of you in the Zen fam will have noticed, I hope, that there are always two versions of every video that comes out, or at least most of the time. If it's just a video where I'm just doing stills or something in the background, or the gameplay isn't that great, because I do on what I think is worth watching in the background, I make a second version of the video, right, where down here there's a small version of me, not this large version of me in the middle. However, I have been tracking the views of those secondary versions, and aside from only 2 examples, the rest of them, the views have been distinctly single digit. In fact, there's a couple of them that have no views at all. Now, I'm seriously considering if it's worth me actually doing this. I know there are some of you out there that do prefer me to be the small version in the corner, but it isn't time efficient for me getting the videos out to you, because I've got to render the video twice, I've got to edit the video twice, and then I've got to like muck about with it on YouTube, so then I've got the URL for the other version in the description of this version, the big version. So if you want the videos kept, you need to do a couple of things for me. 1, watch them if you really want that version, and 2, not only tell me down in that comment section that you want them, but also that you watch them in that comment section. I mean, this channel is for you guys. I mean, yes, I love making videos, but I'm not making videos in a vacuum. I'm making videos for you guys to enjoy. And if you're not watching that content, then it's not worth me remaking that content in that format for people that aren't watching it. So anyway, all that bundled together, have a good think about it. Typey. And I will see you in the next video. So of course, as always, please remember to rate, favourite, comment, share and subscribe. And of course, as always, nae bother.